Hello guys, what is up? Redeem here. So I know that the previous episode ended abruptly again because of the 1 hour mark, but no worries. We just located where the girl is, and you didn't miss any much of it. So let's get it on.
They're completely livid.
First they come to our land, then...
Sir, this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request that the police escort you out.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm from City Hall. They sent me to oversee the situation.
No, you're not. I'm the supervisor of the camp, and I'm the one who's handling the current situation on behalf of City Hall. Ronald Harlow at your service. Now, sir, tell me who you really are, or you'll have to explain yourself
Chose
to the
wrong
police.
option though.
I have full authority to request they detain you.
Very well, Mr. Harlow. I am a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness on my case. Sherlock Holmes is my real name, though.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorized. I can't let you in, so please, step back.
Observe. Slight mustache. Tries to appear older. Wants to look authoritative. And hands, sweating, stress, nervous. Sedentary. What else? Work indoors, poor lighting. Days warmless or tired temperature. This year's grades to look authoritative by wearing smart clothes, but his look is out of place. Pale skin, bags under his eyes suggests the start of his dark cramped office.
The people in the crowd are shouting about a murder in the camp. Are you trying to hide it?
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
If it was under control, if there was no dead body, you wouldn't be as nervous as you are. You would be sitting in your cozy dark corner of a City Hall room doing nothing as usual. Yet, you're here, trying to deal with a series of problems you never asked for.
These insults are inappropriate. You don't know what I'm doing for this camp. Even though the rest of City Hall doesn't give a bloody squat about the refugees. Maybe I didn't want to be assigned to this camp. But I'm trying to do my best for these people. If not for my work, they
That's
might
great.
not have any shelter or food even.
I apologize, Mr. Harlow. Perhaps I was prejudiced towards you, but in any case, I'm sure that you would still want this to be over as quickly as possible. The current reality is that neither you nor the police are managing things well here. You are unable to calm the crowd. You have simply never handled a situation like this before.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Simply tell the police that I'm with City Hall and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest, but in return, I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp. So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her, and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside. Just tell me when you're ready.
Thank you, and I'm ready to go in.
I'm ready to take a look at the scene.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector Tewkesbury. He's the officer investigating the scene. Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll
Independent
find my
expert.
way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
Okay.
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside are so...
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
Very
What
welcoming.
happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector. And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's been questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity.
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd gathered at the camp, and my superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body. 0.
Clearly,
That
a
is
left
Sherlock's
handprint
power.
here.
To attract mysteries. Why cannot I inspect though? Oh, I see.
A blood trail leading a furrow in the ground. A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. Someone bled profusely here.
What do you have here, John? Tracks. Size 9 police
Boots. Always happy to trample evidence. A heavy boot with a worn-out sole. A man's footprint. Malpal, soaked with salt water. £1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona. A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk.
Ooh, here's the dead body. Debris on their fingernails.
Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here.
Is he the one who stole the painting? There we
A
go.
steel dirk, sharp, a common accessory among sailors and soldiers. I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however, the wound is too messy to be certain. An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something?
2-1.
Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was limping,
Yeah,
John.
that's the one who's limping.
A violent death. This man, limping. Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John.
If they find out about the passage,
Eavesdropping. Find out what the passage is for. Old sleep. Nope. Hysteria. No. Come lock down. Take refugees out. Nope. Public eye. Money. Police officers are worried that the situation with the dead body will put the camp into strict lockdown. Oh.
nobody will know anything.
We're
if
already
keep
in a
their bloody
lockdown
mouth shut.
due to this
Sherry,
pandemic.
just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea?
Ooh, that's horrible. Imagine living down here. Come on.
Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment.
How do you even know this stuff, Sherlock?
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately. He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
What do we need to do then? Must concentrate on finding something to clean the wound, to disinfect, and to use a bandage. Clean the wound. Is that the hot water? Wait, I need to... Oh, a
It won't
plant.
do any good.
Lex
That will kill,
Aquapolium.
not save him.
End his misery. No, I'm just kidding. This one. Boiled water, clean.
I'll use it to create a solution.
So we have the solution. What's the problem? Let's check. Bandage. Oh, nice. Convenient.
Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound.
Oh, I need to get it. I see. Plants. Oh, this one. Aloe vera.
I can
yeah,
use
that's the
this
one.
to stop the infection from spreading. I've collated all the ingredients, now to prepare the first aid solution.
Let's save this man.
Excuse me, just one question.
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Maybe the one lying on the ground. Come on. Oh, I need to mix it. Of course. We need to hurry. The man is dying. 2, 1, 4. Change. Then -1. -1. Then mix. Swirl. Mix. Oh, thank you.
This should make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
So he might die of something else? What are you implying, John?
Someone was dragged against their will.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified.
Okay, thanks.
You still here?
Yeah, what can we do?
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads.
I did not eavesdrop. So what's next? Let's ask some other people. Why not the one we eavesdropped on?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but
Really?
others might know more.
I got the information from you though.
Is this familiar to you?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
You obviously haven't thought this all through.
Oh, we don't need to ask.
Or are you just annoying these people on purpose?
We're finished with this.
I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? Huh. City Hall lubberheads.
What am I missing? Uh,
Someone was dragged against their will.
so that's 7, 6. Oh, we're not done here yet. Okay.
No hint of blood or impact. No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon. The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike. You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
Really a boat?
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards.
Yeah, how do you get there? Really a ladder?
No, it's too short for these walls or cliffs. Sealed
Never
shut.
mind. So
I doubt our man could get
unopened.
through these grates.
The entrance, maybe? No, no. Yo. Malpal.
A single Malpal butt. Roadman cigarettes. a brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
Deduction time. They just let them in. Oh, there's so plenty. Okay. I think it's the first one. No, I don't think it will be that easy. Yep. Dragging. Cool, cool, cool. Someone attacks as he sees the girl being dragged. No, still should. There we go. Still holding the hands. Next. That's the pearls. Or the jewelry. Yep. It's the other way around. Okay. So here. What evidence we have here? 2 footprints. The one chasing, I see. Yeah, only one set of, 2 set of footprints with same directions. Hit something, from what I remember. The crates was okay. And next. Oh, he stabbed himself. From the fall? He killed himself. Oh. Sweet irony. I think that's it. Do we have something outside? No? Okay.
So
Got
we
him.
have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
Got him.
You still here?
The killer is the victim.
Inspector, I believe I can aid your investigation. I know who the dead man is and what really happened here.
You do? Well, good for you. But I'm afraid I'm not the one you need to share your findings with. Speak to Mr. Harlow here. He's the one responsible for settling things in the camp.
You don't even care to listen?
Oh, I do care. Maybe even more than I need to. But I'm only here today to lock the place up, question witnesses, and file the facts. It's sad, but coming up with conclusions is not among my tasks here. You fellows at City Hall do that. Anyway, speak to the supervisor. I'll just stand by and listen to what you have to say.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap
Man
one of
has
your
connections.
refugees, a woman. What he didn't
the
expect
police.
was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and
Killed
fell on his
himself.
own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
How did he sneak into the camp? Why
That's
didn't
the
the police see him?
problem.
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You think one small clock can make any difference in this place?
Who knows, John? Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
So can I speak with the girl now? Oh, what's this? Alright.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Naylor?
Naylor. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Naylor's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Naylor, if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
Hello, Naylor? My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people? Christ, Sherlock. Naylor, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
With what? Soft skills?
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
Oh, glad that wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Naylor doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
Oh. Next, do we have call footprints? Same person, exactly. A henchman, not merely a thief. He is not merely a thief, but also a kidnapper. Various roles. What's this? High-ranking official. Facebook. Oh, we can search for it. High-ranking official, Cardona. So we can check this on the. Can I speak to them?
I owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
You still here?
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in
Respectable.
Scalario. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
Well, he should be. So so we're just gonna go to the archive first. Let's check. What's this? Holland's Skull. City Hall. We need to know who the man is.
Sherry, wait. You might want to settle all the matters in the camp before leaving. You probably won't be coming back here anytime soon.
So we need. There is something more.
You're disturbing a hornet's nest here, son.
Oh, this one. I see.
You're disturbing a hornet's nest here, son.
May I ask for your assistance?
They often take us from the camps to work. Most don't mind, though. It's the only way we get a glimpse of freedom.
According to the refugees, some shady people regularly visit the camp, take refugees, perform various work. The work is usually hard. Refugees receive money and food. Girl was abused. She was taken to such work. Since then, refugees decided not to allow their women
So there's
to
a
take it.
smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Let's find the suspect. Let's playing the strings. Archive. So, oh, not this one. This one. So British. Cordona. High-ranking officials. Search. We'll check him later. Let's try to see this. Is this still here? Businessman. Next is Scalario. Occupation or legal documents. Oh, nice. Near the crest, ships goods between African and British colonies.
What a lovely man this Bernadotti is, eh, Sherry? Can't wait until we get to meet him.
So let's just find what's upon us British Empire with his own cabinet. Oh, own cabinet in. Sorry again. City Hall, yeah. Or maybe she knows something?
I'm curious, how did Mycroft recruit you?
Never
I
mind.
doubt you're a field agent. I imagine you work with intelligence.
That's correct.
Oh, this one.
If you're here on matters of signing up for military service, come back tomorrow. Our department needs to straighten out some business.
Red eyes. Stays for late. Of course, it's in remorse.
Why are you staring at me like I'm a Madame Tussauds figure? Didn't you hear what I just said?
You blame yourself for what you did. Won't be any good unless you confess to me, so I'll try to be polite.
What sort of did are we talking about? Are you from the press?
I'm here because of Naylor.
Who?
You don't remember her name.
Lad, if you won't tell me where you came, I'll call for someone here to sort you out, if you get my meaning.
I came to talk. I have a solid piece of evidence that proves you guilty of the violation of a young girl.
What kind of evidence? The silly painting? That's ridiculous. Rumors. Don't listen to a word of it.
I wouldn't call it solid if it were just a painting. I have a photograph that would be enough to cause a scandal at the very least, not to mention criminal consequences.
A photograph? Oh, so you've plucked up courage to finally come here. I won't pay you a single coin until I see the photograph for myself.
I'm not interested in money. I came here to hear your version of what took place. I'm not in the habit of making rash decisions.
Yeah,
Not in
mediation.
the habit. Well, it didn't seem like that from the letter you wrote.
I've never written a single word to you. That's not my style. I'm more direct. But in exchange for my patience, I demand your full cooperation. I need you to tell me everything.
Fine. I suppose now we have a nice long talk. Do you drink, Mr.
Sherlock Holmes. And I do not.
Shame. All the best discussions are accompanied by a glass of whiskey. But out of respect for you, I won't drink either.
Respect? That's an unusual word in your mouth, Mr.
Where are my manners? My name is Thomas Norton, a British envoy in Cordona on a military mission. So, where do we start?
Boniface Mercurio. Does the name mean anything to you?
He's an artist, right?
The one responsible for the painting that compromises you. I found him dead in his room.
Oh, that is bad. Wait, you don't think that I have anything to do with this?
You had motive to kill him.
Maybe I did, but listen. I know how this looks, but murder? That's on another level. I had thoughts that this Mercutio...
Mercurio?
Well, him, yes. I thought he could have been the blackmailer. But I was too afraid to make any hasty decisions. There were plenty of ways to fail by making a move, so I chose to wait. To see what he would do next. You have to believe me.
I don't believe people, I believe evidence.
Then look at the evidence.
The painting that depicted you in the image of the devil was stolen by a mercenary. Did you have anything to do with it?
I might be a rotten person, sir, but hiring criminals for illicit purposes is not in my daily schedule.
And buying the painting in an attempt to hide the crime, is that on your daily schedule?
What would you do in my situation?
Why stress you?
I would never put myself in such a situation.
You're young. I could never have imagined myself in my current position, yet here I am in front of you. We all make mistakes, Mr. Holmes, and I'm no exception.
You mentioned blackmail. Tell me about it.
All right. A couple of days ago, I received an anonymous letter. It said that in the art gallery at Caravansary there exists a painting that incriminates me. The blackmailer made it clear that if there is a painting, then a photograph exists too. And I should be wary of what it might do to my reputation.
What does the blackmailer want from you?
Money, of course. What else do such people want? Needless to say, I don't remember anyone taking photographs at the party. Up until the last moment, I hoped he was bluffing. But he wasn't, as you've just proven to me.
Show me the letter.
I burnt it as soon as I read it. I've left enough evidence. There's no need for any more.
So, let's return to the beginning. What happened at the party?
I vaguely remember that night. As usual at such parties, you meet people, you talk with them.
So I
They
should
invite
have
you to spend
chosen
some
the
time
party
alone
goer.
with them. What can I say? I got myself mixed up with the
Man,
wrong company.
I'm picking
and
all
somebody
the
must have
wrong
mixed some psychoactive
options.
substance in my drink. After that, it's all blurry. I completely lost my
It's like a real life
sanity. I made a
simulation.
terrible mistake which I regret deeply.
You don't say. Do refugee girls often appear on the menu at those types of parties?
It's rather rare.
So you didn't attend the party to engage in an exotic experience involving a vulnerable woman unable to accuse you of assault?
I would never have planned such a terrible thing. What happened was just bad circumstance. Mr. Holmes,
I
I've
should be
built my
liable
entire
for it
career on hard
still.
work and uncompromising dedication to the crown. I made a mistake, but I'm not a villain from some cheap adventure fiction. By putting me behind bars, you will benefit precisely no one.
Rotting in prison is the least you deserve, but I have a better idea. You will make amends and help the ones you hurt.
Isn't Dahlia a refugee as well?
Use your connections to help patriate the refugees, find them decent homes, give them jobs. There must be a meaning to your position and my decision.
Yes, all right, I can do that. So, will you give me the photograph now?
That's not all. Naylor deserves the very utmost of what you can do.
Help the girl? I can't risk the press paying extra attention to her. I will do anything except that.
I need to think this all through. Don't do anything foolish in the meantime.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism. I take your point.
Dahlia, or is that the choice that I need to make? Our refugees are victims of the system. The situation they are in must and can be mended. Here we go. The British envoy violated Nelia, the refugee, during the party. Were the photographs of the crime to be released, it would ruin his career. Or perhaps I could use the leverage to help the refugee camp. So, merciless justice. This is to help the envoy can be. This is to bring justice. This is for helping the refugees. But we can help the refugee uh, with a different way, and we cannot just let this man be free, right? So, well, that's just my thinking. We can just help refugee in another way, and he deserves justice. Yeah, what would you have chosen? Let's go to Where is he again? Oh my goodness, I forgot where he is. Wait, let's check again. Where it is? Bazaar Road, Old City. Old City, Bazaar. Is this the one? I think I have a new wardrobe. Ooh. Yep, that's the one.
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
Both of them is dead though.
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio. Perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor.
I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
He's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious. What about the stolen painting? Have you located it?
I found the source of Mercurio's artistic inspiration. A photograph. What troubled me was that the sexual act captured was non-consensual.
She was violated? Dear God, how despicable.
Her abuser was in fact the British envoy. Mercurio took a picture of him committing the atrocity and then used it as artistic inspiration.
I had no idea a mere break-in would eventually expose such barbarity.
Unfortunately, I could not locate the missing painting.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, such disappointing news. Not even a shred of information? The slightest lead?
I'm afraid the case has gone cold.
I suppose if you were unable to find it, no one else could. What a pity. Oh, but I can tell. You learned something else, didn't you?
Mr. Vogel, I want you to make everything public, including the photograph. I'm sure you have a connection at the Cordona Chronicle.
Mr. Holmes. Loyal to your own truth till the end. Yes, I'm acquainted with the staff of the Chronicle. The story is sensational, and will surely draw attention to the gallery. But you must be aware that exposing the scandal will further hurt the victim. Does that not bother you?
No matter what one does, the truth tends to come out, as well it should.
Yeah, that's...
I won't be the one to stand in its way.
Though it's only your
That's right as
subjective
well.
truth being exposed. Not that I'm judging. It's perfectly reasonable for everyone to have their own views.
When you called me, you knew exactly what you would get.
Oh, but I'm not like you, Mr. Holmes. I cannot be sure of anything. Regardless, I must thank you, for art's sake. Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I took the liberty of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to your mother.
Previously, you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh dear. I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had no idea of her suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine. And what exactly have you sent me?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
Thank you, Mr. Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.
Okay, and we'll be going to the uh our home again, but of course, let's end it here first. So, thank you again for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.